We are 2 days removed from the presidential debate, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but there was a lot going on when it comes to taxes. In today's video, we're going to discuss all of the tax proposals that Kamala Harris is trying to promote and Donald Trump as well. Stay tuned because we have a lot to unpack in this video. Welcome back to the Ricky and Nikki Accounting Channel. Today, what we're going to be talking about is everything that happened in the presidential debate regarding taxes. You know, this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy, taxes, business funding, bookkeeping, everything that you need to know to be able to start, scale, and grow a business will be right here. So the way the video is going to be broken down is we're going to go over what each person is proposing. So we're going to start with Kamala, then we're going to go to Donald Trump, and then after that, then we're going to go between and discuss the differences between the two. And then lastly, we're going to go over what they didn't talk about, because there's certain things that they do not even have a plan for, and it's to be determined depending on if they make it into the White House or not. But before we dive in, what I need you guys to do is hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any other content that I drop for you guys, because I'm going to be coming to you guys with videos weekly on top of, the shorts and everything else that we drop pretty much daily. So make sure you do that for me right now, and let's dive in. There's 6 different things that Kamala Harris brought up that she wants to do. Number 1, raise corporate income taxes from 21% to 28%. When corporations have to pay higher taxes, that usually leads to them cutting staff, which is not good because that increases the unemployment rate. And that also lowers salaries, eliminates bonuses, and they do that to make up for all the extra tax expenses. Second thing she wants to do is raise long-term capital gains. How she wants to do that? She wants to raise it from 20% to 28%. And that's for high income earners. And this is the highest that it's ever been. Higher long-term capital gain taxes, that could lead to fewer high income earners into investing into stocks, bonds, commodities, real estates, and etc., which could be very harmful to the economy. Now, this is a good one. I found that I actually agreed with something that she should do. It's expanding the startup expense deduction. Now, right now, it's at $5,000. What she wants to do is raise it to $50,000 for new business owners and everyone who wants to start a business. Because everyone knows starting a business is very expensive. There's a lot of expenses that go into the day-to-day operations of running a business, especially when you start a new one. So this can actually help a lot of people, because it takes about roughly $40,000 to start up a business. The average rate that's like the average rate to start up a business. Now, this one ruffled a lot of feathers, and honestly, I could see why, because it kind of doesn't make sense. But I understand that party's side on why they want to do it. But at the same time, it's not really right. What she wants to do is tax the unrealized gains of the wealthy. Now, before I even explain what that is, I'm seeing a lot of people complain about this when it wouldn't even affect them. This is only for individuals whose net is over $100 million. So if this doesn't affect you, you shouldn't really even have to complain about it, unless you're seeing it from the wealthy person's perspective, as in, how are you going to tax money that I don't have? Because that's essentially what it is. You're being taxed on money that you haven't even earned. To break it down, this policy requires families with a net worth of over $100 million to pay a minimum 25% tax, and that's including the unrealized gains. And this is a big problem, because this can potentially leave a lot of job creators, aka billionaires, to want to leave the country, which will again ruin our economy, because these billionaires are the ones creating all of the jobs. And if they don't leave the country, then they're probably just gonna dramatically decrease their investing in things like stocks, bonds, real estate, commodities, and things of that nature. Something else that she wants to do, which also ruffled a lot of feathers, because it's putting money in places where a lot of the people don't feel like it needs to be put in. But she wants to hire more IRS agents to do more audits. Kamala Harris casted the tie-breaking vote that passed the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, which added $80 billion in new IRS funding, which most of it was to increase enforcement. It is estimated that the IRS will add tens of thousands of new employees due to this funding, which could potentially lead to more audits and greater compliance costs for the businesses. Another thing she wants to do, which she actually got from Donald Trump, is eliminate taxes on tips. She essentially copied Donald Trump's proposal to eliminate taxes on tips. Now, this is very beneficial for those who make a living off of tips. That's going to help a lot of individuals in restaurants, hairdressers, restaurants, bartenders, and etc. Those are the things that she proposed. There's a few other things we're going to go into in a little bit later, but now let's move over onto what Donald Trump is proposing. Number one, he wants to lower corporate income taxes from 21% to 15% for companies that make their products in the United States. This proposal could help many American companies increase their profit margins and making them much more competitive, which can also help them create more jobs in the United States, which would not only boost the economy, but help eliminate unemployment, or at least lower the unemployment percentage. Number two, he wants to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits. Eliminating taxes on Social Security benefits will help the elderly, disabled, and others who are recipients of Social Security benefits to better afford everyday cost of living. And we already said how Kamala copied him with the eliminating taxes on tips, so we don't really have to discuss that, but yes, he was the one who came up with the idea to eliminate taxes on tips when he spoke to a waitress when he went out to eat at a restaurant, which is beneficial for all of the employees who make a living on tips because it's going to help them keep more money in their pockets, as since the cost of living these days is very high and inflation keeps rising. Now, this is one that I am 100% behind him on. He wants to make the Personal Income Tax Cuts and Jobs Act from 2017 permanent. PCJA, Tax Cuts and Job Act, was introduced in 2017 when he signed it into law. The Tax Cuts and Job Act reduced taxes for the bulk of 160 million Americans in the workforce. He wants to prevent Tax Cuts and Job Act from expiring because at the end of 2025 is when this expires. Number five, he wants to impose a 20% tariff on imports into the United States. This would help generate additional tax revenue without having to increase taxes on the American citizens and American companies. It would also add a 60% tariff on imports from China. Essentially, what a tariff is when you charge a country for importing products into the United States. So if you're a company who has your products shipped to the United States so you can sell, this may affect you because now the prices of your products are going to be higher. But at the same time, since you won't be paying taxes, it kind of levels out. So I also agree about adding tariffs to eliminate taxes on us because a lot of people don't even realize that taxes are the highest expense. You pay taxes on the money you make. You pay taxes on what you buy with that money. You pretty much pay taxes on every single thing you do. So effectively, you don't even really notice it, but it is your highest expense. But going on that, he wants to completely eliminate federal income taxes and incorporate the tariffs. So that's why he wants to include the tariffs, so he can completely eliminate federal income taxes. So can you imagine you won't not having to pay federal income taxes? And if you live in a state where you don't have to pay state taxes, come on now, you guys. This is a no-brainer if you're looking to reduce one of your major expenses. Donald Trump, he floated this idea of replacing income taxes with tariffs. And if this proposal becomes law, the American people wouldn't have to pay personal income taxes anymore. But with that, prices of your everyday items would be more expensive. However, if you purchase American-made products, then those prices wouldn't be as high because it's being made in America. The prices are going to be relatively cheaper. So effectively, he just wants everything done within the United States, which is great for our country. You want more products made in the USA. Now, we discussed 6 things that Donald Trump is proposing and 6 things Kamala Harris is proposing. So now let's discuss differences in some of the things that they didn't even talk about and don't even have a plan for yet. So tariffs and trades. You already heard everything that Donald Trump wants to do. Incorporate tariffs of 20% and 60% on China. Now, Kamala, it's to be determined. She hasn't had a plan for tariffs. She hasn't spoken about it at all. All she's really spoken about is raising taxes. When it comes to payroll taxes, Donald Trump wants to eliminate paying taxes on Social Security. While Kamala Harris, again, to be determined. She hasn't had a plan for that. She hasn't even spoken on it. Now, when it comes to business taxes, Kamala Harris wants to raise business taxes. Donald Trump wants to lower corporate income taxes, and he wants to lower the corporate income taxes to 50% if you make your products in the United States. Kamala Harris, she wants to increase corporate income taxes all the way up to 28%. So there's the big key difference there. She wants to raise it to 28%, and Donald Trump wants to lower it from 21 to 20, and then lower it all the way down to 15 if you make your products in the United States. Incentivizing everyone all companies to create their products in the United States. Now, estate and wealth taxes. Donald Trump wants to extend the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which would keep the tax brackets exactly where they are. Kamala Harris, she hasn't determined anything yet. She hasn't spoken on it yet. It's to be determined. She hasn't had a plan or even spoken about that yet as well. Now, credits, deductions, and exemptions. Donald Trump, he wants to exempt taxes on tips, and he wants to raise the child tax credit to $5,000. Kamala Harris she also wants to exempt taxes on tips. She wants to raise the child tax credit to $6,000 for the children under the age of 1. $3,600 for the children ages 2 to 5, and $3,000 for older children. She wants to expand the earned income tax credit for filers who do not claim children. Now, the earned income tax credit is a credit you get for if you are a very low income earner. This usually only helps individuals who are seen as poor. Now, if you have children, then you're more likely to get the earned income tax credit. But if you don't, it's very difficult for you to earn the earned income tax credit unless you're not really working. And that's what we don't want. She also wants to provide first-time home buyers with up to $25,000 to help them with their down payments. She also wants to claw back deductions for depreciation and interest on certain rental construction investments. And again, she also wants to increase the startup cost deduction from $5,000 to $50,000. Now, there's a lot of talk about people saying that that's a good thing, which I do believe it is a good thing as well. But a lot of the big argument is you're trying to raise taxes on everybody and then give us a deduction. In reality, that's kind of like breaking even. Like, you want to be able to get the deduction since you're starting the business, because studies show that businesses fail between the first 2 years of starting. So if you're trying to raise our taxes and then give us a deduction, it's not really benefiting. It's kind of like leveling out. Now, capital gains taxes and dividend taxes. Donald Trump, this is something that he hasn't made a tax policy proposal on yet. And Kamala Harris, on the other hand, she wants to impose a 28% tax on the individuals who have a net worth of over $100 million. She wants to ensure no tax hikes on individuals making less than $400,000 a year. Now, individual income tax. Donald Trump, he wants to make the Tax Cuts and Job Act permanent. He's considering replacing personal income taxes with tariffs. He wants to exempt taxes on tips. While he was still in office in 2018, IRS W-2 data indicated that 6.1 million taxpayers reported a total of $3.83 billion in taxable tip income, which is an average of $6,249 per taxpayer. Now, Kamala Harris, again, she wants to exempt taxes on tips, expand the child tax credit, expand the earned income tax credit, expand premium tax credits, expand housing tax credit, including the low-income housing tax credit, credit for new home buyers, credit for construction of started homes. Lastly, she wants to increase Medicare tax to reach 5% on income above $400,000. Now, this is just what was discussed on the debate and a little bit of what they proposed when they released what they want to do with taxes. But overall, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what side you think will benefit you more tax-wise. This is strictly about taxes. And of course, I will update you on any other news comes out when it comes to taxes. Now, if you made it this far in the video, what I need you guys to do, if you haven't already, is like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for watching. This has been a lot going on. They both have a lot of different views, what they want to do tax-wise. They really only had one thing, maybe two things in common, which is no tax on tips and raising the child tax credit. But overall, they have very opposing views. So let me know again in the comments what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any other videos that we have coming your way. Until the next video, you guys.